In every sense, honestly, it's you know, you walk into the gym and you're like, man, it's great to have all our guys back. Let's start this going. And you wake up today and, you know, Alex is still out and Jabari, you know, re-aggravates his shoulder and now Trey goes down and you're kind of back in the same boat, but that's professional sports. It's just how it works. These are the things you can't control. This is where, as a unit and as a staff and as an organization, you find the mental fortitude and toughness to figure out, you know, opportunities for other guys to step up. It's great to see Alan Crabb do what he did tonight and compete and get some shots going. It's really great to see what Cam does, aggressively at the basket, just all over the court. But you know, this is no excuse for us. Nobody feels sorry for us when guys go down. That's not the point. I'm not that way, and I won't be that way. But this is pro sports, and we'll adjust and try and figure out how to continue to compete with different guys.
What can you tell us about Trey? Will he travel home?
Yeah, I mean, we watched the video. He is trying to create a little, you know, contact, and as he's going in, I think he stepped on. I don't know if he stepped on George's foot or he stepped on or rolled his own ankle, and as he picks it up and makes another step, he rolls it on the other side. He got a little bit on both sides. It didn't swell too bad when we were in there right now, but don't know anything beyond that. I only spoke to him. I didn't speak to Chelsea or anyone in the training staff, but he rolled it pretty good. He feels it pretty good.
Coach, with Milwaukee being without two starters and with John coming back for his first home game, do you think anything was taken for granted tonight?
No, not at all. I mean, you guys saw Chris Middleton out there. I think he had just one of those games, and you know, I think when you look at their roster and you look at the team, they're a good team. And I tried to make the point earlier, they don't play through Giannis. He's just a special player. But they play with ball movement, they play at execution. They got a lot of guys that can score. George Hill's leading the NBA in three-point percentage. Middleton's an unbelievable player. We don't take anyone for granted. I didn't like the way a couple of our guys approached the game to start, which led to 8-0 lead. But I thought we had a good rally at the end of the first and a good start at the beginning of the second. And then it fell apart again in the middle of the second quarter. But no one feels sorry for us. We're obviously not going to feel sorry for any of their guys not being here. It's just the way it goes.
Coach, that was going to be my question. What did you see from that second unit starting the second quarter?
You know, I thought there was a group, and I can't remember specifically who was out there. Just defensively, you know, just a competitive group. You know, I think it was single digits at the start of the second quarter where we just strung together a couple stops. You know, I didn't think it was anything special. We were locked in a little bit better. And then, you know, our offense, again, you know, just unfortunate that we can't make shots. And we're getting some clean looks, we're getting some good looks, and we're just unable to hit some of those shots that we need to go down. And that's why I compliment Allen, because he's been struggling shooting the basketball, and to see him go 4 for 7 is a start for him. But we need a lot of guys to really, you know, get to the point where they're filling and taking shots that they're confident in, and then just seeing some of them go down.
Coach, do you feel like, since you shot 12-41 from the three-point line, do you feel like your team had additional pressure to win and guys were choosing shots to win it all type deal?
No, I didn't think so. There's times where you probably have some shots that look like that and feel like that. I didn't think that was the case. Obviously, when you're down 20 plus, you know, you're trying to score early. You're trying to score early in the shot clock. You're trying to score before the defense is set. You get a stop. You want to get out. I'm sure there were a couple kick-ahead threes that, you know, we shot pretty early, but those are the shots you need when you have a deficit that big. But no, I didn't think that was the case.
Coach, what you say is the current spirit right now in terms of the motivation and the inspiration from your guys, and what exactly are you practicing to challenge them?
It's a deep question. Motivation, spirit. You know, it's still. I'm gonna walk in there like I did, and we'll come back tomorrow, and we have a game tomorrow. It's no excuse. You know, we played Chicago in back-to-backs all 3 times this year. We've played them shorthanded, as we will tomorrow, and no one cares about that. It's Atlanta versus Chicago. And so the spirit is who's stepping up. who's next man up? Who do we insert into the lineup? Who do we insert into the rotation? And can you impact the game? But that's the only spirit we have. This is pro sports. You just adjust and you deal with it.
Coach, what can you say about your team's defensive effort tonight?
You know, I thought we were in the first half, you know, a lot of confusion, you know, just they run a lot of action and they space you out. And I thought a couple of times we got beat on some back doors that, you know, we're inviting them to, we want to take away your threes, we want to try and deny some of the catches. We got beat on a couple of back doors, but when you do certain things, so part of our coverage is to come together when we switch. We were point switching, and that's the disconnect that we had in the first half. I thought we did a better job for the most part in the second half of coming together with some of the switches, trying to take away action of guys catching the basketball. That's what I was saying. Our approach to the game was just that. You know, that's the one where we want to start. We want to be aggressive. We want to take away action. We were trying to use our point switches and save steps, and that's where we got in trouble early.
Coach, if Trey's out for any extended amount of time, what would you do in his absence in terms of trying to find facilitators?
Well, I mean, that's part of the reason why Brandon was brought up. You know, just to start looking at him, we had a roster spot. He's our two-way, so any opportunity to bring those guys up, and he's a natural point guard. That part of the reason to bring him up was for that, to spell Trey a little bit because of the minutes he's been playing, and just to look at him. So a lot of opportunity to throw him out there today. I thought he competed well. None of the threes went down for him, but I thought he did a good job of competing. And so he'll get more opportunity moving forward, and then we'll continue to explore ways to get the ball in Kevin's hands and Cam's hands and DeAndre Hunter's hands. And you know, until he's back, you know, it's still body and ball movement. You know, how do we get the ball into those guys' hands as well? But we also facilitate and create shots for him. And so Brandon can help us there, but it won't lie on his responsibility just alone. We got a lot of guys that we need to step up and assume that role.